In woodworking, you can be certain of two things. Your projects need to be square, and you're gonna have to get creative sometimes and work with what you have around you. So how do you check for square if the biggest square you have seems a little small for the project you're working on? Today I have a couple of easy tips that might make your life a little bit easier. Now, first off, I want to debunk a common misconception, and that's the notion that the bigger the square, the more accurate. This isn't necessarily true. A small square on a wavy edge will conform to the peaks and valleys of said edge, whereas a larger square will bridge those peaks and valleys and, depending on the situation, provide a more accurate reading. As long as you have one flat, straight edge to work with, sliding a known straight edge up to an accurate 90-degree square will yield the same exact results as using a larger square. Now, to actually check for square, we have a couple of different options. One option is the 3-4-5 rule. Measure out to 3 feet from one corner of your material or project and make a mark. From that same corner, measure the opposite direction 4 feet and make a mark. The distance from those two marks will be 5 feet if it's square. If you get a measurement other than 5 feet, adjust one of those marks in or out until they all balance out. Now, one thing that never gets brought up with the 3-4-5 rule is that it doesn't even have to be those exact numbers, and it doesn't have to be feet or inches. You can make a perfectly square project without a square at all, but the math has to be the same regardless. So let's just say that for whatever reason, 3, 4, and 5 won't work in the space you're working with. 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 times 5 is 15. As long as you're using multiples of 3, 4, and 5, these will always equate to 90 degrees. Okay, so if math isn't your thing, I totally get it, and if you've been watching this channel for pretty much any period of time, you know that I like to take the numbers in math out of as many things as I possibly can. One of the quickest ways to check for square is to measure diagonals. Literally, just measure from one corner to the opposite corner and make a note of the number on the tape. Then do the same thing to the opposite corners. We aren't necessarily concerned with what the number actually is, so much as we just want them to be the same number. Now, inside measurements can be a little frustrating at times, but there is one thing that you can do to make your life just that much easier, and the best part is, we're not going to use numbers whatsoever. Grab a couple of scrap pieces that are about 2/3 the distance of the opening, and cut one end of each piece at 67.5 degrees. Hold the two pieces together and slide the cut ends into the opposite corners from each other. Put a clamp roughly in the middle of the two pieces, then pull the whole thing out and check the opposite diagonal. If it fits, you're square. If not, you'll have to adjust your project and the sticks until they all match up. Now, these are all tried and true methods for checking square that are used all the way from fine detail work all the way up to literally constructing buildings. So the next time you're in a pinch, try one of them out. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching as always. I'll see you in the next video.